Hi, so this is a video about a pilot study on pork. This is a study that I found on the website of the Western Price Foundation. So I will put the link of this article of this study in the description box under this video if you want to read the full article. So this is a study they made. So it's a pilot study. That means it's a very small study with only 3 people. So of course it's very it's a pilot study. Okay, it's a little study, so it has to be considered as a pilot study. Okay, so of course it needs to be confirmed with more studies to compare, but it still gives a good view about pork, about the health effect of pork meat on health. So let's start. So the experiment. So what I will show you in this video, it's extracted from this article. In this report, we examine 3 adults who normally eat a traditional Western Price Foundation diet, who participated in a pilot study to ascertain the effects of eating pork on the blood. These volunteers came to the laboratory once a week to consume pork prepared in various ways and to have their blood examined before and after eating it. Micro photographs of their blood show unexpected results. So they took the same pork and they transformed it in different ways. So the first way of transformation is like basically it's salted and then sometimes smoked and then let for several weeks or months to ferment. Okay, so this is basically how we do ham, like raw ham. So they use sodium chloride and a natural sweetener, and sometimes they add some spices for flavor. Okay, so this will be the first type of pork. The second type of pork in this study will be marinated pork. So it's regular fresh pork marinated in an acidic medium, and here it will be in vinegar. So this type of preparation of meat in general, I recommend it for people who have issues digesting meat. So if you have, I don't know, gastritis, you have stomach issues and you cannot digest meat properly, of course you need to take enzymes. Of course you can take beta-in HCl, but also you can marinate your meats before consuming them, because when you marinate them in an acidic medium, it will start breaking down the muscular fibers. So it will be much easier for your stomach to digest. So it's not only for pork, it's for all type of meats that I recommend that for people who have a weak stomach. But anyway, so here they put the pork in an acidic medium. It kills the bad bacteria and parasites, so it keeps the pork healthy and proper to consumption, safe for consumption. It also kills parasites and it gives a good taste. Okay, so in this article they also say that an example of traditional marinade that uses acidic elements to treat the pork is a tandoori pork recipe. The pork is coated with a marinade of yogurt, a paste of pungent spices, and mango chutney for at least 8 hours or overnight before cooking. So this is not what they did for this experiment, but they just say that traditionally you can find this type of marinades. Okay, so basically these are the different cuts of meats that they gave to the 3 people in the study. So regular fresh pork cooked in a pan, marinated pork, and as we saw, so pork that is salted and smoked. So here bacon and here it's prosciutto. And here is the control. So for control they used cooked fresh pastured lamb. So the blood analysis. So the blood analysis can reveal numerous conditions, including the stickiness of red blood cells and their tendency to aggregate and clot, as well as the formation of fibrin and aggregation of platelets. Early blood clotting has been linked to chronic systemic biochemical inflammation, which is at the root of chronic disease. The blood testing of adults consuming the traditional diet recommended by the Western Price Foundation showed a much healthier biological terrain than those consuming the modern organic diet. There was considerably less red blood cell aggregation, platelet aggregation, and fibrin in the blood. So who were the volunteers for this study? There were 3 human adult volunteers, healthy adults eating the traditional diet, as we said, 2 females aged 37 and 60, and 1 male aged 52. Subjects each came to the laboratory once weekly for 5 weeks at the same time of the day by individual appointment. On the days in which they participated, subjects were required to fast for at least 5 hours. A baseline blood test was first done. Each subject was then given a measured amount of meat to consume, at least 3 ounces. After consuming the pork, subjects were allowed to leave the laboratory, instructed to drink only water as needed, and to refrain from eating anything else. 5 hours later, each subject returned to the laboratory for a post-meat blood test. So the meat used, we just see them, but regarding cooking, the meats that were cooked over low heat in cast iron skillets for up to 1 hour with a little water, but no added fat, and salted to taste. Okay, so let's dive in. So this is the blood of one of the subjects, and the 52 years old male. This is his blood before consuming regular cooked pork. This is the picture of normal, healthy blood. And this is his blood after eating the regular cooked pork. Okay, so here you see the difference. It's crazy. Healthy blood before, and this is after. Red blood cells are entirely stuck together in rouleau formations. This blood condition disrupts the microcirculation. Basically, it's a clot. It makes clots in your blood. This is another picture. It's still the same person. It's still the same thing. They just took another shot to see, another part of the blood. So it's the same. It's another clot here. It's So this subject also felt considerable fatigue after 2 hours eating the pork chop, although he insisted that he was not sleep deprived that day. The other 2 subjects showed similar blood results following consumption of the unmarinated cooked pork chop. 2 of the 3 subjects felt fatigue after eating the pork chop. By contrast, all 3 subjects reported no fatigue at all or other symptoms after eating the marinated cooked pork chop. So this is a blood sample of the same subject, and the male of 52. This is his blood before eating marinated pork, and this is his blood after eating marinated pork. So the blood is almost similar. There's a little bit of aggregation, but of the red blood cells, but nothing compared to what we saw before. So again, this is his blood before marinated pork. This is his blood after marinated pork. And it was the same for the 2 other subjects, and they didn't show any changes between before and after blood. This is the blood before bacon. So this is the blood of the female of 37 years old. This is her blood before eating bacon. This is her blood after eating bacon. So here also it is almost unchanged. It's a very healthy blood before and after, and it was the same result for the other 2 subjects of the study. This is the blood before eating prosciutto, and this is the blood after eating prosciutto of the 52 years old male. Before, after. So here again, no change, very healthy blood before and after, and it was the same for the 2 other subjects. This is the blood before lamb chops of the 37 years old female. Healthy blood before eating lamb chops, and healthy blood after eating lamb chops. So this is the control and the lamb chops. This is lamb meat that was not transformed, not salted, not marinated, just fresh raw lamb that was cooked to compare to fresh raw pork that was cooked. Okay, so healthy before and after the lamb. Here they show different pictures, different diagrams to show the difference between the meats and the aggregation of the red blood cells. So this is, light gray is before consumption and darker gray is after consumption. So you see how crazy the change is. This is the formation of rouleau. This is the red blood cell aggregation. So before there's nothing here, after it's very high. Before there's just a little bit here, and then after consumption is very high. And for fibrin is the same, very, very little before consumption and very high after consumption of this type of pork. Compared to the other types of pork, here marinated pork, there's almost nothing to really talk about. Same regarding the bacon, same regarding prosciutto, and same regarding lamb chops. So of course you can see a little bit, here, but compared to this one, okay, it's a totally different picture. So what are the results? Basically, as we just said, it shows that after eating unprocessed pork, the blood shows clots. It's a very unhealthy blood after regular pork chops. Whereas after eating marinated or salted or smoked or fermented porks, after eating these ones, there's no issue with the blood. So the results suggest that unmarinated cooked pastured pork may be unique in producing these coagulation effects on the blood. The early blood coagulation and clotting observed after consuming cooked unmarinated pork are adverse changes in the blood. A shorter blood coagulation time is associated with increased systemic biochemical inflammation, as well as the possible formation of blood clots in the body, as in heart attack or stroke. So, in Chinese medicine, pork has the medical properties of being bitter, somewhat cooling, and slightly poisonous, and was used for chronic madness. Yet, pork is the most common meat consumed in China, indeed through Asia. Usually it is marinated in vinegar before it is cooked. Pickled pork is also a common dish through Asia. The results demonstrate the wisdom of traditional food preparation. The processing of pork in customary ways by salt and acidic marinades makes pork safe for consumption, not only by inactivating parasites, killing off noxious bacteria that may cause food poisoning, and promoting safe fermentations in the meat that add flavor. Traditional processing of pork also seems to prevent the inflammatory and blood clotting effects as observed here through live blood analysis, although we do not know why. We speculate that raw pork contains a toxin unidentified to date, and that heat alone from cooking cannot destroy it, but that fermentation with salt and also acid plus heat do so. This toxin in pork, if it exists, is therefore heat stable and requires further denaturation by salt or acid in order to detoxify it. This is exactly what traditional pork preparation provides. So yeah, it just shows the wisdom of traditional cultures, as we can see in the book of Weston Price, Nutrition and Physical Degeneration. These traditional cultures, they knew what they did, and they were much healthier than us. And here is an example, again, of why they were healthier than us modern people, because traditionally they knew how to prepare their food. So basically, what should you take from this study? Again, it's a small study, so of course we cannot be 100% sure that this happens with everyone, but here we saw that it happened each time for all three people. So in conclusion, I recommend that if you eat pork often, it is better that you marinate it, or that you consume pork that was already traditionally processed, like in the form of salami or bacon, as we saw, or prosciutto. Okay, these types of pork processed the most naturally possible, of course, and no nitrate. I'm not sure how you say, but no chemicals, no artificial dyes and stuff like that. So of course, the most natural possible. If you want to consume fresh, unprocessed pork, it is better that you marinate it either in vinegar, either in lemon juice. And then you rinse it very well before cooking it. Okay, you don't take it from your marinade directly into the pan because it will be way too acidic. So you rinse it very well and then you cook it, and then you will be fine. If you consume pork almost never and you consume it like twice a year, maybe you don't need to bother of preparing your pork correctly and to marinate it. You can just eat it, like that. It won't kill you. It's not good for your health, as we just saw, but it won't kill you. So it all depends if you consuming pork regularly, or if you consume it very rarely. So this is all I wanted to tell you in this video. So again, you can find the link of the study in the description box under this video. And this is just a reminder that I have a course to heal your gut naturally. The link will be under the video. And all the channel, my channel, all my videos are about natural health, and in particular how to heal your digestive system naturally. So go watch my other videos on my channel if you haven't yet. I see you in the next video. Bye bye.